What's up, everybody? What's up, younger generation? Calogda here, and the subject of today's video is a man who lives in both infamy and famity right now on TikTok and the general internet. It's a gentleman goes by the name of Vivek Ramaswamy. A lot of Republicans, unsurprisingly, cannot pronounce that correctly. I'm just going to say it. TikTok has a lot of terrible, repetitive, cringe comment trends. Notably, I think like Ohio plagued the app for like 3 months. Physically made me recoil. And right now, swear to God, every video it's like, we got X before GTA 6. You know, we got a Calogda YouTube video before GTA 6. We got, in this case, Vivek edging before GTA 6. And so that's the trend, not the GTA part, but nearly every comment, at least at the top of the comment section and going very far on Vivek's TikTok page is about edging. But anyways, I digress. It is much easier to just show you what these comment sections look like. I'll make sure to drop a link to the Urban Dictionary definition if you want some comprehensive understanding of the term. But cue the dubstep. Now, the reason why I find this so funny is because he tries so hard to be taken seriously. And, you know, one of the reasons is because the Republican voter base is to a much higher degree comprised of older people. And so they kind of inherently have a bias against someone in their 30s. And it's also the case that it's really hard to be taken seriously on TikTok, case in point with the prior compilation. But next I'll show you a video of somebody who confronted him about this. The only footage of him responding to this trend.
I want to ask you, your comment section is always talking about Vivek, I edge you, Vivek, I edge you, but you never replied to them. So you want to give them a reply real quick?
You know, I'm still, I'm from a different generation. So I was like, oh, I got to look that up. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to take that.
One interesting thing to note here is that evidently he does not have security. Like, if somebody had Secret Service protection, they would have been tackled. But another thing is, he also makes such a great point, especially when talking about TikTok, that he is a part of the youth generation. He is a part of the TikTok young people, and that's the voter base he's going to connect with. But so much of that is contrary to the you guys are a part of a different generation. I don't understand this basic trend, which is the majority of the comments on my videos.
Hey guys, I'm backstage about to go on in New Hampshire. We got a little surprise for you coming.
He also has this like tone and way he holds the camera that makes him feel like a distant generation. I don't know, kind of like the selfie position. It's like he's emulating influencers, but it just looks so painfully unnatural.
School Republican politicians bashed me for getting on TikTok. Well, I now have a prediction. I think other Republican politicians are soon going to join TikTok, probably in the next 6 months, as they're seeing young voters flock to our campaign. And if the Republican Party wants to actually win elections and actually win the trust of the public, we're going to have to reach young voters. I am young. I come from a different generation. You know, I'm still, I'm from a different generation. And I think that's what it's going to take to reach the next generation. The older generation,
I'm from a different generation.
they're perfectly fine sending you to fight somebody else's foreign war because they're going to be long dead and gone by the time you see the consequences of that. But not me. We're not going to send young people to fight somebody else's war. We're going to protect Americans here at home. And I'm going to keep telling you about it on...
So the problem here and why it's not favorable for these politicians and politicians in general to join TikTok is that there's kind of an air of unseriousness wherein people kind of have an automatic response to make fun of them. For example, if Ron DeSanctimonious, if he joined with his 6-inch heels, he would just be clowned immediately. You take any candidate in the field with the exception, because he's so polarizing, of Trump, who doesn't need it because he's just on Truth Social and he already has the rep. So yeah, I don't know if it's the way to connect. It's almost better for your clips to like organically surface on the interwebs instead of trying to like push them in the face of people who really don't care. Also, wait, I was editing this and just remembered he wants to raise the voting age to 25. So he's on a predominantly young app advocating for engagement with younger people, and he wants to ban that exact demographic from voting for him. It's absolutely absurd. That, you know, marginalizes people enough alone.
Which I don't think it's a sin for young people to use TikTok. You probably heard a lot of the other Republican boneheaded politicians bashing TikTok on the debate stage yet again. TikTok. TikTok. TikTok.
Okay, 2 issues with this. And first is that TikTok is just a scapegoat. Like Facebook, X, Instagram, which I guess is owned by Meta now, all have an absurd amount of data exploitation and collection, which is definitely being sold to, sold to people. And the second problem here is, take for example, when the federal government cracked down on Juul, all these lawsuits being filed because it was like a political target. It was a buzzword saying we're combating, underage vaping or whatever, wherein the market is just flooded with alternatives that are probably worse because they're less regulated. It's not like it actually put a dent in the issue. It's just like, oh, we're going to ban this specific type because people perceive it as a problem, even though it's kind of like a hydra. You cut that head off and then 2 more brands come and fill the greater void.
For some reason, they think that it makes for a convenient punching bag to come after me for being on this platform. They're fools. The reality is the Republican Party's going nowhere unless we reach young voters where they actually are. I pointed out that as one of the other candidates on that stage, Nikki Haley, was criticizing me and sanctimoniously preaching against TikTok, she didn't even know that one of her own adult daughters was actually on it. But the funny part is I wasn't criticizing her daughter, I was criticizing Nikki Haley for being on the wrong side of a generational divide.
I'm still, I'm from a different generation.
Yeah, so the reason why Nikki Haley just called him scum, which I don't totally disagree. The absurdity of this argument is that her daughter is an adult. It's not as if it's something that she can regulate. She's like an autonomous human being. So she's not culpable for what she does. There's no element of control there. So just to bring that up when, somebody who is already outside your house making their own decisions, it's just absurd. And it's like attacking family for no reason. So that's why I don't think it's a warranted response at all. Again, if, she was a minor or something, it would be fine. But, anyways.
Our country used to be a country of winners, but the Republican Party has become a party of losers, repeatedly losing election time and again. So yes, it's going to take a leader from a different generation to lead us to win.
I think it's just comical that he preaches so much about I don't say we, but the Republicans, they need to connect with the newer generation, and he is an example of that. He's part of the newer generation that can connect with this newer generation, yet he doesn't understand the lingo, and he just overtly says, half the comments on my videos, I don't even understand the terminology. I'm sure it took him a long time to even look it up, and I'll bet he was mortified. But he's not a part of the generation. He's in a weird millennial middle ground that still kind of has ignorance to social media. So I don't know. I don't think it's fair to just group him in with the quote-unquote younger generation, especially given his comments.
30 minutes of your time to avoid World War III, to protect our homeland, to shut down the deep state, to revive national pride in this country. That's what I need from you. 30 minutes of your time on January 15th. The Iowa caucus is going to pick the next president. It's Martin Luther King Day. It's a national holiday. 30 minutes that evening. We'll tell you exactly where you need to go. Click on the link below. It'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Take 30 minutes to secure our future. Save our country.
This is what I mean. He's just trying so hard to be taken seriously. He's in like the Andrew Tate finger position, talking directly about how it's about the future of our country, and the majority of comments are just making fun of him, being like, Vivek, we edged you. Great edge, Vivek. Thank you for the edge. Do you edge to young voters? Anyways, I'm going to end it on that. Like I said, there's a lot of repetitive TikTok comment trends, which I think are abhorrently cringe, but I like this one because it's targeted at a out-of-touch, delusional politician who is forcefully trying to group himself with the generation. So just wanted to give you my thoughts, but God bless. Make sure to check the Twitch. I'm probably just talking to like 0 people, so make sure to say hi. But have a wonderful Christmas.